Hey, Amber World Entertainment, and we have some Season 2 news on Monarch Legacy of Monsters. In casting, so we have a new cast member joining the crew, and there's still speculation as to whether two other original cast members will return. I, of course, reviewed Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I really liked the show. It's unfortunate that it's on Apple TV because I just don't see people using Apple TV, but whatever. But who have they cast in it? They've cast none other than Amber Midthunder. She has joined the cast, and it gives us details on who she's playing and what kind of role she's playing for this next season. So we'll jump into this article that talks about this and gives you a bit of information what the first season was and whatnot. So it says, Prey star Amber Midthunder is set to face off against a very different and much bigger kind of predator in her next project. According to Variety, the Legion alum has joined the cast of the second season of Apple TV's Monsterverse spin-off series Monarch Legacy of Monsters. In a heavily recurring role, Midthunder will play a character named as Isabel, who is described as an intelligent and powerful businesswoman. So that part is interesting, which I'll swing back to, especially if you watch the first season. So the first season stars are all expected to return. Whether we'll see Kurt and Wyatt Russell return after the events of the first season final remains to be seen. Very easy to bring back Kurt Russell with how the first season ended. A little trickier to bring back Wyatt. By the way, they played the same character. Now people go, wait, what? Wyatt played the character in the 40s while Kurt played him in 2015. That's when this is set, by the way, or was set. So it says Legacy of Monsters is set after 2014's Godzilla reboot, as San Francisco struggles to rebuild in the wake of the Titans' epic battle against the Mutos. The story focused on Kate, who survives the San Francisco showdown and travels to Japan to find her missing father. It is there she learns of a shocking betrayal, and Kate must team up with her half-brother and an American hacker to discover her family's ties with the mysterious organization known as Monarch. So Chris Black and Matt Fraction developed the project, and the first two episodes were helmed by WandaVision and Fantastic Four director Matt Shankman. They are all expected to return for the second season. The series was renewed back in April, with Apple and Legendary also striking a deal to develop a number of other spin-off projects. It is the latest expansion of the Legendary Monsterverse, following the box office success of all the movies. They just list all the movies. So regarding Amber Midthunder being a part of it, yeah, I think that's good casting. I do like Amber Midthunder. She was great in Legion, and she was quite good in Prey. You know, for there's some faults that the movie does have, and I still don't like the ending. Well, more so how they kind of beat the Predator was just a bit stupid. But I still like her. You know, she's good. Now, saying she plays this powerful businesswoman, we saw the formation in season 1 of Apex. So there is a big question now of, will she simply be at least one of the bosses or something in Apex? It's very possible. As for bringing back Kurt Russell, now he got trapped in what we thought was the Hollow Earth, and it's actually not. It turns out it's an area that's in between our world and the Hollow Earth. And when you're stuck there, if you're there for a week, literally 2 or 3 months can pass, if not more. So Wyatt Russell's version of Shaw, who they were called, went down in 1945, I think it was, and came out in 1983, if I remember correctly. And he literally thought he was only down there for 2 weeks. He was like, we've just been stuck for 2 weeks. You're telling me 20-something years has passed. And now Kurt Russell's character is stuck in there. You know, he kind of, you can't really say sacrifice because he's alive, but he pretty much lets himself go to be stuck there to save the rest of them. And when they got out of there, in the final episode, we see that time has passed again. And they appear to be on Skull Island because the big tease at the end, of course, was Kong. We didn't see him, at least I don't recall that we saw him. But you get the implication of, you see, if I remember correctly, a sign saying Skull Island as they're all running into this big hangar bay. And you see the trees moving and you know something's coming through. And of course, once you see it saying Skull Island, you're like, that has to be Kong. So, of course, the speculation is Kong going to be a part of Season 2 as well? And maybe they'll actually focus more on Kong rather than Godzilla in the second season. The special effects for the first season were great as well. Now, Kirsty, is that how you say her name? Kirsty Clemens? She played the character that was the hacker. I can't remember what the character's name was in the show. She was the only major letdown of the show because her acting was terrible. And it was unfortunate that they focused 2 episodes on her character, which was quite annoying because she's not a likable character. She wasn't an interesting character. And again, her performance was just horrible. So it was kind of like, why are you giving 2 episodes to her? And she was one of the reasons Apex started. She did something she probably shouldn't have, and we saw the formation from the results of that being Apex starting. So I'm going to assume now that Amber Midthunder is going to end up playing someone that is a part of Apex. She might actually be one of the heads or something of Monarch, but it will be interesting to see because they were definitely setting up kind of where the conflict would come from between both Monarch and Apex. And it's Apex, I think, if I remember correctly as well, who finds them at the end of the first season on Skull Island. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I do like this casting. I think it's a good choice, an interesting choice. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they bring Kurt Russell back. I was hoping he was going to end up being in Godzilla x Kong, and I still think they should move him into the movies as well. It could be really interesting. But hopefully he comes back. And even I hope they bring back Wyatt Russell as well, because the parts when they went back to the 40s and the 50s and stuff where we saw the younger version of Shaw, which was played by Wyatt Russell, they were great. All that stuff was great, and I'd love to see more of that. I don't know how you do it, because again, they left his story from the 40s that he ended up, and the 50s, and he ended up in the 80s. So you would probably have to be showing him in the 80s and getting older. I suppose that's one way they could do it. We'll have to wait and see what happens with them. Again, hopefully Kurt Russell definitely ends up coming back, I hope. And I do like this casting of Amber Midthunder in this, so I'm looking forward to it. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Let us know, by the way, if you've checked out Monarch, and if you did, what did you think of it? I know there were a few people who didn't like it, but it is what it is. No one's telling you have to like it, and no one's telling you you have to hate it. Like it if you like it, hate it if you hate it, whatever. Just let us know in the comments if you've seen it or not. So with that, cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.